Assertion reason question. Assertion says during menstrual cycle, the ovulation takes place approximately on 14th day. This is correct. Ovulation takes place on 14th day. Reason statement says rapid secretion of LH luteinizing hormone in the middle of menstrual cycle induces rupture of Graafian follicle, correct, and thereby release of ovum, correct. So the both are correct and this is the explanation of A. So the answer will be option 3. So this is a confirmed answer. So we will mark it on the OMR sheet. 164 is 3. So the time taken to attempt this question along with OMR marking was around 50 seconds. So let's try to understand this question. This is best understood by this diagram. These are the uterine events. This is happening in uterus. So this graph shows 28 days and this will correspond to one menstrual cycle. So 1 to 5 days is the menses, the bleeding phase. And during this phase, the old endometrial lining is shed off. Then in the follicular phase, there is regrowth of the endometrium and it keeps on growing so that it makes the uterus ready for implantation. Then in the absence of any fertilization, the endometrium lining is shed off in the form of menses again. So this cycle repeats. So these are the changes seen in the uterus. The uterine changes are because of the influence of the hormone secreted by pituitary. So FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone, and LH is luteinizing hormone. Both these hormones are secreted by adenohypophysis, which is the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Follicle stimulating hormone is going to cause growth of the primary follicle into secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, and then Graafian follicle. And then around approximately 14 day, LH levels will suddenly shoot up. So this will lead to ovulation, that is rupture of the Graafian follicle and release of the secondary oocyte, which will travel in the fallopian tube. So this is the kind of graph you will see for pituitary hormones. In the ovary, these are the changes seen. So the follicle is shown here. In the follicular phase, you will see growth of the follicle and different stages are primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, and fully matured, the maximum sized follicle is called Graafian follicle. And the ruptured one has released this is the secondary oocyte. The LH surge leads to ovulation. Then what is left in the ovary is called corpus luteum. And then in the absence of fertilization, this also degenerates. And the last graph is ovarian hormone levels. So the developing follicle starts producing hormone which is estrogen. And later, after ovulation, corpus luteum takes over and it produces progesterone. And because it prepares the uterus for implantation, progesterone hormone is called the pregnancy hormone. So see, lots of questions can be framed on these graphs. They can mark these and ask you to identify which hormone this graph corresponds to. Okay, or in this case they can ask you what is this stage called, ovulation, which occurs in at approximately 14th day. Or they can ask you about the phases: follicular phase, luteal phase, menstrual phase. So anything can be asked. So be well versed with these graphs and what changes occurs, the sequence also. That's all about this question. Thank you so much for watching my video.